pleased with our approach. I thought we kind of set the tone at the beginning. We knew that they had played a tough back-to-back last night in New York. And any of you guys have traveled from New York, you know you get in late and they hold you up at the airport. So we knew that, and our guys came out and set the tone.
Pistons now 20-53 on the season with 9 games to go. The Sweet 16 begins tonight in the Big Dance. Michigan a part of it for the 5th straight year. They're 5-point underdogs to 2-seeded Villanova after defeating Colorado State and Tennessee in the first 2 rounds. The coverage will be over on AM 950 WWJ at 6:45, a 7:30 tip from San Antonio. And a nice spring game for the Tigers, including a grand slam by their shortstop prospect Ryan Kreidler. Akil Baddoo went 3 for 3 in the leadoff spot as they tied the Pirates in Lakeland 6-6. Eduardo Rodriguez, their opening day starter, with 4 innings of 1-run ball and mowing down 5 Pittsburgh batters. At the Ticket Update Desk, I'm Chris Villar for more. Stay tuned to 97.1 The Ticket and Odyssey.com.
Live from the Jamie Samuelson Studio, Stoney and Jansen on 97.1 The Ticket.
Good morning with the governor, with Greg Hargrave. Heather Park is here. John Jansen, Stoney with you on a Thursday. What's happening, people?
Good morning.
Good morning.
It's great to see you.
Yeah, thank you. Good to see you, too.
Yeah, Heather, welcome back to the studio.
Thank you. Good to see you, boys.
Hey, you got a new haircut? And a haircut I see yesterday.
No, I just combed it.
Okay.
It looks like a brand new haircut once you comb it, but yeah. This is the first day I don't think I've had a baseball hat on in probably a month.
Probably, yes. Right.
So, yes.
Look at this. He's a lean, clean fighting machine.
It's very true. The lean part.
I know.
Definitely true.
I was down 50 today. So, from the first of the year to now I'm down 50. So,
Holy
I'm
cow.
right about where I want to be. Yeah, I've lost about 3 teddies.
Exactly.
Wow. How's the wife feeling about all this?
About me losing weight?
Yeah.
She's concerned that I've lost so much.
Oh, she like big fat John. You like Big John. I don't know about Big Fat.
You weren't.
Yeah.
No, I call it. You know, I'm joking.
No, I don't know. She's in full support. Yeah, because I feel so much better in regards to my joints.
Yeah.
And being able to get around, just walk around and be active, especially with Teddy and you know, but yeah, she's just concerned that I did it so quickly. But when you're, and I've lost weight before, about 5-6 years ago, and when you are that big, the first 35 to 40 come off pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to spare.
Well, you see that on The Biggest Loser.
Yeah, like the first, 40 or 50 they come off in a hurry.
He's trying to call you a loser.
So it's all right. It's got Mitchell.
No, I absolutely applaud what you've done. I just curious because some women do like the big guy.
Yeah.
Well, they've got the people.
Not that you're not a big guy still, but
How would you know? But then there are people who like all shapes and types.
Yeah. And I still like being the big guy. So I don't really want to go any further.
Right. So, but if Campbell called you, there's no way you can play now.
Oh, between now and the start of training camp, absolutely. I'd be right back at 3 bills, and it'd be much more fun going the other way.
Yeah, I see. I don't know if you would have had a good enough time where I was yesterday.
Oh, see, you told the story. You got to tell everybody the story now.
My brother-in-law, Jimmy, sometimes he's up in all this, works for Lipari. You see their trucks around. They sponsor American Heart. They're a huge food distributor in the Midwest. So what they do is they have a trade show. They rent out Suburban Collection and have tons of their vendors. They're, like Dairy Fresh, for example, or Drench salad dressing. They have all booths that they use their products and they distribute them. Some of these companies don't have the trucking and all that. So that's what they do. So they ordered like 5,000 to 6,000.
Yeah.
And we just walked around, my wife and my sister-in-law, and it was just like sample. It was just, a little bit of
Like Costco on steroids.
a little bit of a donut here, and then I got a hot dog, and so my wife's sitting there, we got pizza for you over here. You always give me crap about what I weigh. You're sending me to all these places.
But they're just little samples.
Well, not the hot dog.
Oh, it was
Like sliced up. They were
Big
full
dog.
hot
Oh, yeah, big dog. Oh, yeah.
All right.
Big dog. And you go to one place, and it was like, I'm talking about a real nice piece of ribs. Oh, they had ribs there. Oh, really, really good.
You didn't tell me that this morning.
I know.
Again,
So next
I don't
year,
live far from there, man. My
All right,
phone didn't ring.
Okay, well, next
Is this like the restaurant version? I've been to one just like you're saying.
Not restaurants
No.
per se. No, these are all like
Just food distributors.
well, they're the food distributor. Then they bring their clients, I guess you would call
Yeah.
them, sample the products for
Yeah.
small markets like we ran into.
Okay.
There was somebody sitting who was looking at the guy's name tag and it said Village Market. She goes, Village Market in Elk Rapids? The guy said, yeah. She goes, I used to work there, and that's where we'd go sometimes
Yeah.
for our stuff up there. So people from all over the area, they flew in, a lot of their customers from all over the Midwest. I mean, it was unbelievable.
Nice.
A lot of fun.
Nice.
So I'm walking around there, and I got a text from somebody. You, Tyreek Hill.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. It's unbelievable on a daily basis. You kind of waiting around now with the NFL to see which star is moving. And Tyreek Hill was the one yesterday.
Yes, it was, and yes, he is, and we'll get into him coming up later. It was funny because my daughter is a big Kansas City Chiefs guy, girl, because she loves Mahomes, and so I texted her, and she was like, "No, yes." She goes, "Why?" I said, "Well, salary cap. It's a lot of things.
It's a lot of things.
He's from there too."
He is. Yeah, and it's interesting because I brought up, when we were talking about Aaron Rodgers and his contract, and I know that they did find a way to offer Devontae Adams some money, but at some point when you have a quarterback making $40 million a year, the salary cap is going to continue to go up, so there will be room to grow.
Correct.
But when you take up that large of a percentage of the salary cap, there's going to be cap casualties. And right now, Kansas City is in that cap casualty. But what they're able to do is take some of their stars that still have great value and trade that in for draft capital. And they're going to draft some guys, who knows where they go, but it is a much cheaper price tag.
Absolutely. Last night at Little Caesars, the Pistons played really, really well last night. 122 to 101. They had 8 players, beating the Hawks. They had 8 players with double figures. Jeremy Grant had 21. Cade Cunningham, 17 points, 8 assists, 6 rebounds. Now, I don't use or care that much about this stat when it comes to basketball. Maybe somebody's like, well, who cares? Why even bring this up? I just can't recall the last time I saw a Piston stat line with a plus 43.
So, okay.
That doesn't happen very often, especially
I'm going
with
to
this
ask,
team.
and it's okay to say it's a stupid question because there are stupid questions. How do they develop, or what goes into the plus minus?
Same thing with hockey. It's the points that your team scores when you're on the floor as opposed to
When you're off?
No, when you give up.
Oh, okay. All right.
So well, if you like, for instance, LeBron, I'm sure, or when players on really good teams that have those type of numbers.
Right, but it's been a while since we've seen a Piston, something like that.
I mean, and Killian Hayes had a really good game. So he actually, I texted my friend, he goes, Killian Hayes for the first time, he really looked like a complete NBA player for at least one game.
Well, but we talked about this
I know.
a couple of weeks ago, maybe even a month ago now, when he started coming off the bench, and maybe that's his role.
Yeah, which is fine. I mean, look,
It's not fine for a lottery pick, but if you're going to get value out of him, you want to find out how to get him, to be productive for you. So be it.
Maybe he is one of those guys. 19 years old, didn't play college basketball, played over. You never know. Sometimes other players
Takes a couple years.
We don't know, but last night was really good for him. As far as the standings go, I was like a little mixed. I couldn't tell who I wanted to win, but Oklahoma City did beat Orlando. So really, the Pistons couldn't lose in that situation. So right now, the Pistons are they remain one game behind Oklahoma City. Half game now ahead of Orlando and 2 ahead of Houston, who also lose.
Yep.
It's going to come down to the wire. There's some big the Pistons have to play at Oklahoma City. So we'll see what happens. Pistons also have to play, Brooklyn on the road next week, which will mean, unless something crazy happens, that Kyrie Irving will be playing home games. They're finally going to lift the mask mandate, or not, whatever, the rule in New York where their own professional entertainers can play in their own venues.
Right.
So the Yankees and the Mets, they won't have to worry about Aaron Judge and people like that who haven't been vaccinated. So that's good for them. And, it probably helps the Pistons get a better lottery
Get a
pick.
loss, yeah.
Yes, get a loss next week when Kyrie Irving is allowed to play at home.
Just a question, because you're an East Coast guy.
Mm-hmm.
You've got good experience over there.
Yeah.
And is this... Now, I know that we're at a different place, obviously, in the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
And, some could even say we're in the endemic. But...
You have to see what's going on.
Come on, don't give me a but.
I'm not giving you a butt. I watch the news and I
Is
see what's
this
going on in the UK.
is this just because they just want to see all the Yankees on the field?
No, I don't think so. No, I think they were getting pressure because they realized.
I know they were getting pressure.
Well, I think the mayor of New York just realized that, from what I understand,
Stupid.
he was one of the ones who wanted it lifted, but city council, whatever, it was ridiculous. They looked like buffoons where Irving per se could go into the building, but he just couldn't play.
Right, he could sit next to them.
Yeah.
And he could celebrate with them.
Guys, it's just so stupid. The more
But he couldn't
liberal,
go in the locker room because when he went in the locker room, that
Right.
was a $50,000
Right,
fine.
exactly.
the more liberal the area, the less it takes longer, and it's very dumb.
That's true.
It's just the truth, and it's so dumb.
I agree.
You mentioned UK stuff, Stoney, and all that, and I saw something this morning about Hong Kong has its highest death rate ever.
I know.
And a lot of people think it's because they went so restricted. And I think we've just seen that this thing needs to just kind of filter through us.
Which I think is going to happen. Although when
It is happening, and I'm not against, even though I like how things are right now, where kids are in school without masks and all that stuff. That I realize that kind of stuff could come back.
Right.
Maybe.
But you're not gonna have lockdowns anymore.
Get the summer.
No, I agree, John, but I'm also open to the fact that there could be something down the road here that we don't know.
Right.
There's an unknown that I'm at least willing to say, okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's a study. Beaumont came out the other day saying that all of a sudden the hospitalization stuff has risen a little bit, and the hospitalizations, the people that are in trouble, are the ones, once again, who are not vaccinated. And until that happens, it'll never end. But I don't think you could ever see lockdowns unless we get that. No, those days are over. But for those who never.
It's in John's theory about baseball starting is something I didn't think of.
Well, I mean, we talked about it briefly last week. The Yankees and the Mets. Nobody really cares about the Mets.
They do this year.
Aaron Judge needs to be on the field.
Yeah, exactly. And so, there's a threat that he's not going to be on the field for half the games. Oh, well, city council all of a sudden acts.
Well,
I love that thinking, John.
Well, it also looks. I also think the fact that Adam Silver a couple weeks ago, who was pretty damn liberal,
Yeah.
said it was really ridiculous.
It's always been ridiculous. The fact that team players can come in,
I know.
it's been the most
Asinine.
maybe of all this. Look, I've kind of been on the middle on this thing throughout. I think some of this has been necessary, and we went through something here. I think even John would agree with that. Right? In terms of this, you were for some of the things that happened earlier. This NBA or this New York City policy is one of the most preposterous.
Oh, it's the dumbest thing because it is so obvious that it's
and that we have elected
contradictory.
leaders deciding whatever state.
You know why else they had to do this? Because they made a mistake when they fired or they wouldn't allow people like the policemen and the fire department, people who wouldn't get vaccinated, they lost their jobs. So you're going to tell those people who lost their jobs that it's okay for these guys to play? That's part of the problem. They had to, basically look.
To be consistent. They're consistent with their dumb rules.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right. Our telephone number is 248-539-9797. Coming up on the program, it is the 2 Grand Slam. at 7:25. Also, 8:02, we'll go live to San Antonio.
Right.
We got a Sweet 16 game tonight. Michigan assistant coach Phil Martelli will join us.
Run it back.
He has met their coach several times in his days of coaching St. Joe's versus Villanova. We'll get into that. And coming up next, Hunter Dickinson. He just continues to piss people off. 97 the ticket.
Hey, protect yourself against upsets throughout the month of March with Bracket Parlay Insurance on FanDuel Sportsbook. Right now, all customers can get up to $25 back each and every day if your parlay of 3 legs or more falls just 1 leg short. Parlays are a great way to turn a small bet into a giant payday. New to FanDuel. Just sign up with promo code Jansen. Then you can bet the bracket all tournament long. Again, you're going to get $25 back each day if your parlay of 3 legs or more falls just 1 leg short. All you got to do is sign up with promo code Jansen on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of 97.1 The Ticket. Must be 21 or over and present in Michigan. If exactly 1 leg loses, refund issued is non-withdrawable cycle that expires in 7 days. NCAA Tournament SBK wager required. Restrictions do apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problems? Call 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help.
97.1 The Ticket. Traffic.
From the WWJ AM 950 Traffic Center, this report brought to you by North Bloomfield Properties. Taking a look at the drive this morning, pretty clear out there. No accidents or major slowdowns to deal with. Also pretty quiet heading into and through construction. We do have road work scheduled until later this afternoon. Michigan Avenue eastbound after Greenfield. There's a right lane closure. Look for a left lane closure. Telegraph both directions between Van Born and Michigan Avenue. That's scheduled through July. And then double right lane closures for Ford Road both directions between Telegraph and M39. I'm Michelle Pena with traffic.
If you're looking for a place to call home, let North Bloomfield Properties find the best place for you and your family. We also provide pre-screened quality tenants to our property owners. We love to match good people to good homes. Contact us today, northbloomfield.com.
In business, it's never just another day. Every day is the day. There's the day you open your 500th location or expand to a new city. The day you deliver a make-or-break pitch from 1,000 miles away. Or the day that you have to start it all.